From watching his interview, you showed a clip earlier with Christopher Hope. He just doesn't seem to understand why people perceive this as being foul play. You know, this guy's obviously in some shape or form buying access to the Labour Party.
Are you serious?
We've also discovered, as I'm talking to you at the end of this week, that he's given an enormous interest-free loan to a relative of another Labour MP. We know that Angela Rayner and
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Sam Tarry stayed at an apartment in New York at his expense. You know, we have seen a Labour Party that on the one hand is saying it's on the side of ordinary working people, but on the other hand is clearly in the pockets of a multimillionaire donor. And now if this was turned around the other way, we would simply not hear the end of it. There would be calls for resignations. There would be calls for public apologies. And I just think it's been a disastrous start for the Labour government. And Dan, path dependency in politics matters. So from where you start shapes the eventual outcome. Nobody can say that's better than Liz Truss, right? Now, from where this Labour government has started, you know, this is going to shape the overall outcome. And I think we're going to be in for 5 years of,
oh my God,
very unpopular government in this country. I mean, looking at the people
involved.
This is no
Blair in 1997, is it? Goodness me.
Well, that's the thing, Dan. I mean, the level of political awareness is extremely low. I mean, the one thing I struggle to understand about this scandal, just before we move on, is Keir Starmer knew he was likely to become Prime Minister. He knew he was going into Downing Street.
fact.
He was leader of the opposition, and he still made these decisions to take donations and freebies from a party donor. He knew this was going to come out.
Yep, and he doesn't he doesn't like being
Wait for it.
questioned on it either. And I just want to show you this interview with Beth Rigby, because what I think is interesting about this, Matt, is that Rigby has actually been sympathetic, certainly compared to how she used to challenge Boris Johnson on
Are you serious?
these sort of sleaze scandals. But he is still really agitated by the whole thing. Watch this.
Out that.
There'd be some people that would also want
That doesn't make sense.
a private place, have a different environment where they would like their child to go so they could have a better opportunity. Do you see how it looks to some people that there's one rule for you in terms of being able to claim this stuff that other people don't have access to?
Well, I think that's why the rules are there to declare it. But look, every day...
Do you get it, though?
Every day...
Do you get how it looks?
If you're putting to me, Beth, that I should have stayed in my Kentish Town home...
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
...and disrupted my son's GCSEs, that was the right thing to do, then I think you should put that to me.
OK. Well, you're saying that you shouldn't have stayed in the home because you wanted to protect your boy.
I wanted him to be able to do his GCSEs.
Many parents...
and any
What is he doing?
parent would have made the same decision. I don't wake up every morning thinking about that.
I mean, this has not been well handled, is it, Matt?
I mean, it's outrageous. I mean, it really is. If you look at the way he's packaging his answer, you know, he's sort of offended to be asked the question. There's lots of mums and dads and families up and down the country who would have loved to have sent their teenager during COVID to a nice, quiet space to prepare for their GCSEs. Dan, I was teaching many of those kids at university who had to go through COVID and the horrific time of doing the exams during the COVID pandemic. They didn't get that advantage. And of course now Keir Starmer is simultaneously clamping down.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
On the parental choice to send their children, if they want, to an independent, to a private school. He's whacking on the fees relating to that. Well, why can't they be free to do whatever they want to do for their child without penalty? Why is Keir Starmer suddenly different to mums and dads across the land? And this is why two-tier Keir, free gear Keir, these names have now become household currency. I mean, he's a household name, and I think his brand,
Wait for it.
is deeply, permanently damaged. I think this is doing real damage to Keir Starmer and the government.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Indeed. Well, look, thank you for sharing your view on it. It must be very mixed emotions. Personally, I just think, oh, Diana, you shouldn't have trusted this guy. He was so wrong in so many ways, and maybe if you hadn't trusted Mohammed Al Fayed, you would still be with us today. But Neil Hamilton, so good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Good job.
I know a lot of you are dealing with or have dealt with these symptoms, especially amongst the women in the Outspoken family. Now, obviously, I haven't experienced menopause firsthand, obviously.
That doesn't make sense.
But I've heard from so many of you about the challenges that come with it. So I'm coming to you with good news, I hope, because by now most of you have heard me talk about Verso. I've been taking their products for months and it's been absolutely transformative for me. But today I want to focus on all of you amazing women out there, especially those dealing with menopause or perimenopause.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
I've heard about how tough this phase of life can be. But Celbene by Verso is designed to target those symptoms head on by addressing the root cause. It's formulated with ingredients that are proven to increase NAD+ levels in the body. Now, that is huge because NAD+ is what keeps your cells healthy and energized, but it drops off as we age.
Yes, exactly.
Especially during menopause. Here's the thing, boosting NAD+ can make a big difference in how you feel. Women who've taken Celbene are reporting some pretty amazing changes. Hot flashes disappearing, more energy, joint pain release, weight loss, and mental clarity. I've even heard from some listeners who've told me that their periods have come back or have become regulated and they feel like they've turned back the clock on aging. The ingredients in Celbene have shown to balance hormones without going the traditional hormone therapy route. It helps with inflammation and metabolism, which is especially helpful for managing weight and keeping you feeling your best. Plus, these research-backed ingredients have been shown to improve bone health, which is crucial for post-menopausal women at risk of osteoporosis. What I love about Celbene, and think you will too, is that it doesn't just mask the symptoms of menopause, it tackles the root causes of aging, helping you feel stronger, healthier, and more energized from the inside out. So if you haven't tried it yet and you're ready to take control of your health and feel more like yourself, click the link in the description on YouTube and Rumble, or head over to buy.ver.so and use the coupon code Outspoken to save 15% on your first order today. So if you're tired of the sleepless nights, the hot flashes, or just feeling off, give Celbene a try. It's already helped so many of you, and I'm confident it can help even more of you feel better too. So to repeat, that's bui.ver.so/outspoken and use the coupon code Outspoken for a 15% discount.
We don't do that here.
But ladies here, I want to talk to you about the other big story which has a royal connection this week. Mohammed Al Fayed, these explosive revelations from the BBC with multiple rape claims. For folk who don't know, Mohammed Al Fayed was, of course, the father of Dodi Al Fayed, who died in the Paris tunnel with Princess Diana, the owner of Harrods for many years.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
But they're pulling in a woman, Lady C, called Anne Coxon, into this and seemingly trying to turn her almost into the Ghislaine Maxwell of the piece. And I believe you have a personal connection with her and some real insight into what the BBC are trying to do here.
Are you sure about that?
I do. She's my private GP, and she is an extremely eminent member of the medical profession.
Wow.
I won't even drag in half the names in the medical profession as well as her patients. I mean, it is absolutely outrageous in my view.
Oh, Lord. Again.
That the BBC can be, and they've mounted this as a deflection campaign because they knew Hugh Edwards had to plead guilty. They have had a series of scandals, all of which they have managed to dampen down. There was the Jimmy Savile matter.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Then there was the Martin Bashir matter, where Martin Bashir practically drove the already troubled Diana to insanity. And I mean, literal insanity, because she ended up being paranoid in the medical sense of the word, gratis his lies.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Not only did they know about this, but they covered it up for 25 years. They destroyed the career of the person who originally complained about it. I'm saying artist because I don't know the technological terms.
Yeah,
really, nigga?
he was like the graphic designer, wasn't he? Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah. Yes, he's the one who did at their behest, thinking they were genuine. He did the mock-ups.